He has completely started a new life and has turned his back on his children.
I had to make a decision. Like, she's not supposed to know where I live, my phone number, any of that.
Your Honor, yes, there are lots of contests. So I don't know that there's a whole lot of agreement. I think the one thing that they would probably agree on would be the income, the gross income, which is I have the monthly $6,494.67, and that is based off of Mr. O'Hanlon's work as a teacher. The gross is just under $78,000 a year, and I don't believe that Ms. Casamino would argue that he's a teacher. Other than that, as far as the disagreements, my request is for guideline child support. Oh, I'm sorry. There's another agreement. So Ms. Casamino has dental insurance through her work. I calculated that to carry the two children, excluding her, just the two children, would be $56 a month. I don't believe that Mr. O'Hanlon's going to object to the dental. As far as the medical, the testimony will be that neither has affordable insurance through work. And then I'll let Mr. O'Hanlon testify as to the insurance situation on his children outside this order, because I think that's going to probably influence what the court orders, and then that'll influence the final calculation as far as the child support. If the court were to only order the dental, that'd be 56 on the dental support, and then the guideline child support would be 990. If the court orders some medical, then it would go down from there. And that's based off of Mr. Casamino having 3 children total. I don't know that Ms. O'Hanlon's going to agree to that. I'm not going to fight him on that. And then I would ask to confirm some sort of arrears or being paid ahead, but based on the start date, when the court decides the start date, then I can give the court a number. I believe Ms. O'Hanlon's request is going to be to start this going back August 1. I believe Ms. Casamino's request is going to be August 1, 24. Mr. O'Hanlon's request, I believe, is going to be February of 2025 or later. So I'd ask the court just to make a ruling there. And I think that's what I have, Your Honor.
All right, let's get some testimony and let's get everyone sworn in. So at this time, I'll ask both parties to raise your right hands, please. All right, do you both solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give this court today is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
All right, you're both officially on oath. I'm gonna go ahead and let the state call you both as witnesses. And I'll go ahead and at the end of the hearing, if either of you wish to make a closing statement or closing the argument, you can. But this time, Mr. Diamond, go ahead and call your first witness, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Call Ms. Casamino. Ma'am, will you state your full name?
Legally, it's Melanie Hoover O'Hanlon, formerly Casamino.
I'm sorry. I keep making that mistake,
It's
Ms.
okay.
Hoover. All right. So let's talk about insurance first. Is there insurance available through your work?
There is insurance available through my work, but at this time I cannot afford it.
Okay. And have you been able to obtain insurance through another source?
Yes,
private
I
insurance?
have. Yes, sir. I have the kids enrolled in Medicaid. They were approved for Medicaid.
Okay. But I believe you have dental through your work. Is that correct?
That is correct. So when new enrollment or the new year for insurance came around starting October 1st, 2024, I started kind of doing a slow transition. I was able to put my kids on my vision and my dental, but I cannot afford, and I do have that, that fallback for Medicaid, but I can't afford to put them on my insurance through my work.
Yes, ma'am. And so how much are you paying for just the dental, not the vision?
The dental comes out total $38.71, 2 times per month. I do get paid bi-weekly, so there's 26 pay periods in a year. So for that, it comes out on the 1st and the 2nd of each month. The 1st and 2nd pay day of each month, excuse me.
Okay. All right. So what I do, I took $38.71 by 26 pay periods, and that gave me 1,000 something. And then I took that by 2/3. I get $670.97. Do you have any objection to me requesting the court to use that number?
I do not.
All right, and so that gives me a total of it's like $55.80 something cents. So my request to the court is $56 a month on dental reimbursement. Do you have any objection to that number?
Me, Mr. Diamond?
Yes, ma'am.
No, I do not have any objections to that.
Okay.
Mr. Donovan, she said the children are on Medicaid at this point, so has the state done the cash medical request? What that would be based on whether or not it's 9%, 4.5%, whatever.
I've not, Your Honor, because I believe the testimony will be that Mr. O'Hanlon's insurance situation for his other children is somewhat unique, and so I'm going to probably need some kind of guidance from the court for how to calculate I know how to calculate, I guess, what the court's going to want calculated.
Okay,
All
all right. Go ahead and proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. And then my understanding, Ms. Hoover O'Hanlon, your request is to start the new obligation August 1, is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
August 1, 2024.
Yes, ma'am. I will pass a witness, Your Honor.
All right, ma'am, be back in just a moment. Let the state call your next witness, please.
I call Adam O'Hanlon. Sir, will you state your full name, please?
Adam Scott O'Hanlon.
And how many children do you have besides the two with Ms. Hoover O'Hanlon?
I have 3.
Okay, and all 3 of those are biological children?
Yes.
And do they all live with you?
Yes.
Okay. What are you doing for insurance for the children?
The youngest one has Medicaid. The other 2 have they are Native American, so they get free healthcare essentially in the Fort Worth clinic.
And that's provided by the tribe that they're members to?
Yes, it's provided by I think it's the IHC or something. But it's everything is covered. The tax and everything.
Okay.
All right, and real quick, sir, the Medicaid that the one other child is on, is that based on their own disability or based on a grant to you?
What was the second part of that?
All right, Medicaid, that the one child that has Medicaid, is that based on a grant, your grant, or is that based on the fact that they had their own disability?
They don't have a disability, no. We qualified based on income and she was
I got a lot of background noise coming in, sir, on your thing. I can't hear you very well. So you want to get away from that just a little
Can you
bit?
hear me now? Is this better?
Yeah, it's a little bit better. Okay, so the Medicaid is based on your application for Medicaid, sir?
My wife.
Okay.
She applied. I mean, yes, together, using my income. But yeah, she's 3 months old.
Okay. Thank you. You may proceed, Mr. Diamond.
Thank you, Your Honor. And was I correct in telling the court that you work as a teacher?
Yes.
All right. And I calculate your wages, or I don't calculate. I have your wages at annually $77,936. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, and my understanding, I gave you sort of a range of possibilities of what the guideline calculation would be. Probably going to be somewhere between $900 and $1,000. Do you recall me telling you that?
Yes.
All right. And did I correctly understand that you object to being ordered to pay something in that range?
Yeah, it's not affordable.
Okay. Do you have specific reasons that you're asking the court to consider as to why that's not fair or reasonable?
Well, my wife has fibromyalgia, so she can't work. So it's sole income. My youngest daughter, was just born. She's having a lot of health issues. So we have a lot of medical bills with that. She's not gaining weight as fast as we would like. My son, Eli, is he's special needs as well. He receives services at school. If we look at the amount of money that I'm paying now, which is roughly $400, $398, we're living off of payday loans currently. We get about $1,000 to $400 a month, and that's just to survive. If we increase the support that much, it's going to really place a hardship on the
Okay, so let's talk about. It sounds like you're saying there's exceptional costs for your younger two children. So let's talk about that middle child with your new wife. What would you say what does it cost you a month? I mean, you said that there's a clinic that's free where they get their health care from. So what does it cost you? What do you end up paying out of pocket every month?
For which child?
Your middle. We'll start with your middle child with your new wife.
Yeah, Everly doesn't have any issues. That's the middle child. The oldest one is Eli.
Oh, I'm sorry. The oldest then. The oldest then. Sorry about that.
He's he qualifies for a grant through special education, so we were able to help subsidize some of that. But I would say monthly, probably about $100 or so. We have to take into the speech outside of school districts. We have a very specific syllabus, so it's about $100 a month for him.
Okay, and then I'm sorry that I confused them, but then you said the youngest child with your new wife also has some health issues. So the same question. What's it costing you a month to take care of her?
Well, that one was covered by Medicaid, so luckily nothing right now.
Okay, so let's talk about your wife, and I'm sorry that she's suffering with fibromyalgia. What are you paying a month to treat her condition?
Oh gosh. Between prescriptions and appointments and stuff, probably anywhere between $5.
I can you say again, sir? I can barely hear you.
Yeah, I would say between prescriptions and appointments, I would say anywhere between $300 and $500 a month. Depends on if she has a specialist appointment that month or not.
And these are not covered by the coverage that she has?
No. The Indian Health Clinic doesn't cover the specialty stuff. They cover a portion of the prescription. We've been able to decrease some of it by using the better RX stuff. But yeah, it's a lot.
Okay.
All right, so, and your wife gets no Social Security disability or anything like that?
No. We've talked about it. I don't know. I guess we're just discouraged because it takes people so long to get approved to that. My mother has MS, and it took her 6 years to get approved. So I guess we're just kind of discouraged. We haven't tried it.
All right, sir. And based on her current diagnosis and information, is there any chance she's going to get better?
I don't think so. The doctors,
All right.
honestly, the doctors say that the best thing for her is just to stay home. So we've tried to look at like online jobs and stuff, but with the kids at home, it's really hard to do that.
All right, you may proceed, Mr. Diamond. Thank you.
I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, any other witnesses at this time, Mr. Diamond? Anything on reader?
Yeah, I tell you what, I'd like to ask maybe two more questions of Mr. O'Hanlon, if I may.
Right ahead.
All right, so Mr. O'Hanlon, your current wife, she knew that you had children with Ms. Hoover O'Hanlon, is that correct?
Correct.
All right, so she knew they were part of the deal?
Yes.
All right, and your testimony to the court was you've not applied for SSI because you don't think your odds are very good of getting it. Did I understand you correctly?
I don't think the odds of anybody getting it is very good.
Okay, so that's the reason you haven't even tried to get it?
Yes.
Okay. And you think it's fair that your children with Ms. Hoover O'Hanlon should have to do without because you and your wife can't go apply for the Social Security? I mean, that's what you're telling the court. Am I understanding you correctly?
Well, what I'm telling you is that we haven't done it yet. I mean, it's not like it's complicated. We just are in conversations about it.
I understand.
But no, I don't think that they should do without. But I also don't think that supporting one family has to hurt another family.
Okay, I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, anything else of the other witness at this time, Mr. Diamond?
No, other than if I would offer, I don't believe I've offered the pay record into evidence, Your Honor. So I'd offer states one, Your Honor.
I don't have that right here. If you can go ahead and share a screen if necessary. And I do have one last question of each party. Sir, what city and state do you live in?
I live in, with the kids, I live in Temple, Texas.
All right, sir, and where do you live?
Rainberry, Texas.
I'm sorry, what was that again? Rayberry?
Rainberry.
Rainberry, okay. And where's that located? I'm sorry, sir. I'm not familiar with that.
Where is that? It's near Fort Worth.
Okay, thank you. All right, folks, this is State's Exhibit number 1. This is the financial activity report. In your case, it shows what funds have been paid for child support in this matter, and what is now and what has not. And we scroll down to the very end, Mr. Diamond. It looks like this is pretty much up to date, so there's not anything with the court. I think that's going to deal with as far as repayment amounts are concerned. So is there any reason that I should not take State's Exhibit number 1 into evidence at this time?
No.
Haven't you, sir?
What evidence?
Any objection
My pay
to
record?
having your pay record for child support and placed in evidence, sir?
No. Yeah, I'm current on it.
All right. And sir, how long have you and your current wife been married?
We got married in 2018.
Okay.
So 6 years.
All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Diamond, any other witnesses at this time?
No other witnesses, Your Honor. So I would rest subject to close.
All right, thank you. All right, folks, I'm going to let the state make a closing statement, and I'll let everybody make a closing statement. Thank you. So I'll start with the state, and then I'll go to, I still want to call you Casamino myself, man, but I'll go to the guard and then to Mr. Oberlin.
Thank you, Your Honor. So, Your Honor, I defer to the court on when the start date should be, and then that would influence when the state would request to confirm the arrears or confirm the being paid ahead. I'm asking the court to issue a guideline child support order. I don't, and I need some guidance on what percentage the court wants to use on the medical. I would ask for the $56 on the dental, and then once the court tells me what the court wants to do on the medical, I can give the court a guideline child support calculation.
All right, thank you. Anything else, sir?
Not for me, Your Honor.
All right, ma'am, your turn. Anything you want to tell me in closing?
Yeah, I just wanted to let you know, sir, that Aiden is on the spectrum. He has special needs. Adam has known this since before we divorced. It's a little frustrating hearing him talk about the things that, you know, he has mentioned and not even taking into regard his own children. That's all I want to say.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Sir, your turn.
My turn?
Yes, sir. Anything in closing?
Yeah, I know that he's autistic, but I also know that he's 18. We're going to be 18 next month, and he's a senior, and he's driving, so it's not life happening. It's not like it's, you know, he needs special needs home or something. So I get the frustration, but I mean, my dollar will only go so far. If I could pose a number, I can probably swing between $500 and $600 total a month, and that's really all I can afford.
Judge, can I also add, and I apologize, I should have mentioned this. Adam has not had any contact with his children by phone, text message, sending a card, anything. He's not seen him since the summer, either one of the children since the summer of 2017. I think the last time he had any communication with them was at the very end of 2017. Maybe in January of 2018. So he has completely started a new life and has turned his back on his children unless I have pursued him through the AG's office. That's it.
All right, thank you.
Did I say something?
Yes, sir. Real quick.
I had to make a decision. I had to either choose my children or I had to choose myself. I've been sent to 3 times. I have a protective order against the custodial parent. I like, she's not supposed to know where I live, my phone number, any of it. And the reason I cut it off is because of the constant monitoring and all of that. So I had to make a decision. It is the hardest thing I've ever had to do. And I'm hoping by the time that they're older that we can rekindle that, because I won't have to go through her to have the relationship with them.
All right, okay. You know, everybody keeps throwing curveballs at me right now. So, sir, you say do you currently have a protective order? You had a protective order at one time.
I have a protective order right now. Correct.
All right, and where is that protective order through?
It's through the OAG's office.
Okay, OAGs usually don't do protective order. Which county is your protective order in out of?
Bell County. Well, it may not be a protective order. I don't know. It's the one where I'm not supposed to see or hear her. She's not supposed to know where I live or anything.
Oh, that's non-disclosure, sir. That's really something totally different. I'll go back to mom in a moment. Did you ever get a county court, a JP court, or a district court to issue an order family violence so that?
No, I don't have a protective order. I have the non-disclosure.
Okay, all right, thank you. You just, again, you just do a bit, you were throwing me a big curve on that one, so I need to clarify it. All right, thank you. All right, anything else, sir?
No.
All right, Mr. Diamond. And again, sir, it sounds like your wife got the child that is now on Medicaid, on the Medicaid grant. You are not listed on that grant. Is that correct, sir?
Correct. I don't have it.
All right, then. All right, Mr. Diamond, give me the math on what 4.5% would be under for cash medical on that. So, you know, he's still got other kids. So I would look at 4.5% instead of the 9%. What would we be looking at? And I could always tweak that if I want to.
Your Honor, $292.26. So would ask the court to round down to 292.
Okay. All right, sir. Have you ever been requested to be placed on that Medicaid grant with with your wife and the as far as that is concerned?
Repeat that? Have I ever applied for Medicaid?
I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry. You sound like you're in a busy restaurant, someone. Maybe it's school. I'm sorry, but you said you testified or you're not on the grant. Have you ever requested or been on the grant for that child or Medicaid?
Hold on just a second, please. Okay, can you repeat that?
All right, so, sir, Medicaid is done by grants. If you're on the grant, then I would not order you to pay cash medical. But if you're not on the grant, you're looking at two things. One, the state has the right to ask for me to order you to pay cash medical to help pay the state of Texas back on that Medicaid grant for that child. And there's a chance they're gonna come after you for the other child if you're not on that grant. So is there a reason you're not, do you know, is there a reason you're not on the grant or or mom just did it and you didn't know anything about it?
I don't know anything about a grant.
Okay. All right. And Mr. Diamond, if I was to order 104 cash medical, what would be guideline child support on that?
If it's 104 on the medical and the 56 on the dental, then I would calculate $970.49 and request the court to round down to 970.
All right, man, I hate to take these under advisement. Here's the deal, folks. I haven't, again, we started this one late. I have not had the chance to go read over your entire file to find out how we got to this point in life and what we're looking at. Obviously, the child support is going to, the oldest child is turning 18 next month.
Yes.
Okay, and ma'am, he's graduating in May, or is he going to go to school an additional year?
He will graduate from Lake Belton High School in May. Mr. Diamond was telling me about a form that I need to get filled out since he's turning 18, but he'll still be in school. So I'll be working on that tomorrow and getting that submitted.
Okay. All right, then. So obviously I'm looking at that. The child support's automatically gonna go down once he graduates in either May or June. I'm not sure when graduation is and this year, so it could be in May, it could be in June, but after if he's still in school the first day of the month after day one, the 1st of June, then child support would not end until until the 30th of June of that month. So again, I gotta look at that, and then I gotta look at the math, and I want to look at this is a thick file, so obviously there's some type of history here, and I was trying not to have to read a 250-page file, but looks like I'm going to have to, Mr. Diamond. So it looks like I got 2 to take under advisement and rule on this coming Thursday. But again, sir, the math's the math. I say that constantly, and for me, I can't take away from one child and give to another unless there's a legal circumstance for me to do so. And I would advise, so if y'all, but you know, I'm gonna take a look at this. I'm gonna see what's in this file and what the math is gonna look like going forward, and what dates I'm gonna look at as far as starting change of child support. But you know, both of you have compelling stories, but obviously, you know, the bottom line is the bottom line. And unfortunately, the judges are more of a finance guy than a sociologist, so we'll see. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and Right now, I'm gonna go ahead and look at the rest of the file, see if I see anything in this thing that's gonna give me any cause, because I always, first thing judges say, I'm gonna take judicial notice of the court file. Well, I didn't say that in this case because again, this is a 200+ page file, and there's just no way I could go over that amount, that much data, at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this one under advisement. I'm gonna make the ruling on this one on Thursday morning with the other case. But again, I've got to look at what the math is. I got to see what everything else is looking like, and I will make that ruling on what that child support amount is going forward. But again, sir, I can't give you any legal advice, but I would tell you and your current spouse to definitely start that process. If she's disabled, sir, you need to start it. And because the bottom line is, if they say she's been disabled since 2022, you're going to get 4 or 5, whatever years of back disability. So, it is what it is. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and go over the file, see what I got here. And neither one of you have to show up on Thursday morning for the ruling. But you can if you want to, but I'm going to go ahead and make a ruling on this one for what the new child support is, when it's going to start. And but I am going to go ahead and order cash medical repayment at 104. That's why I did it at that amount, because I knew the other one's 56. So I was going to make that 160 even. And then I'm going to figure out what the current child support is going forward and what date I'm going to start it. But I will do that on Thursday morning after I have a chance to review the whole file. So at this time, I'm going to start with you, ma'am. Any questions, anything else you think I need to know?
No.
All right. How about you, sir?
No.
All right, Mr. Diamond, anything else, sir?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, may the party, since I still got to make a ruling on this one, may the parties be excused.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, let me finish writing this one up and let me put this file over here with the other one. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
We're off the record, folks.